Be more than human.
Welcome to the channel. My name is J.R. Carroll. I am the author of the More Than Human novels, and today we're going to do the Unpopular Opinion 2.0 tag.
Hell yes.
Now, I did the original tag over a year ago, and this tag's about a year old, and I just haven't, got around to it. I actually haven't done a tag in quite some time, but I just think this one is one of the funner tags to do. It's made by Elliot Brooks, one of the OG booktubers, and I did the first one a couple years ago, and this one's about a year old as well. I just haven't got around to doing it yet, but I figured today's the day. And before we jump in to this, I just want to let all of you know that I am doing a kind of a buddy read / discussion on Stephen King's It. I've been sitting on this book for a while, just waiting for the right time to do it. Myself, Bryce from Self-Centered is going to be reading it, and I got Sarah from Sarah Reads who's going to jump on, and we may have another one or two people get on with this, and it's going to be, I'll give you the official announcement later, but it'll be probably the last week of the month. I can't wait. I think it's going to be the biggest book I've ever read, so it should be fun. But let's get into the Unpopular Opinions tag. Now, the first question here is a genre great that you don't get the hype for, and me, I'm gonna go with R.F. Kuang.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. Now wait just a minute. And you're ugly, just like your mum.
Here, I've only read one book by her, so let's take it with a grain of salt. But I've read the Poppy Wars, the first book, and the story itself was just so to me. Her writing is what made the book more enjoyable. So who knows? Like as I continue on, it may get better, and I may look back on it fonder, and with her. But yeah, I wasn't blown away by the book like some people were. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with R.F. Kuang here. Maybe in the future this will be a dumb thing, and I'll be like, oh, she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But who knows? We'll see. Number 2 is an adaptation you wish was never made. And this is hard for me to say because I love The Witcher.
Fuck.
But, and Henry Cavill did great, and the actor they had for Dandelion was amazing. But I kind of wish they just never would have made it, because they just screwed it up so bad. So bad. After season 3, I've got like one episode left, and it's just horrible. They didn't follow the story. They didn't follow the source material. So yeah, I just wish they never would have made The Witcher, sadly to say. A book series that you have to fight back your inner snob because you kind of think people just don't get it. I will never say this to anybody because I hate when people do this to me because I feel like it's very patronizing. But if I was gonna say like, oh, some people might not get this, maybe The Dark Tower.
But I don't want your life.
Some people just read the first book or the second book, and they're just like, I don't get it. Like it's too weird. But here's the thing. Like again, I won't ever pull up that snob card because I understand it's a weird series, and for some people some people just don't connect. I will say that they just won't connect with it, which is completely fine. But yeah, The Dark Tower is not for everyone. A book series you are tired of everyone hating on, and I'm just gonna say anything by Sarah J. Maas. I tried to read Crescent's first book in the Crescent City. Still to this day, the only book I've ever DNF'd. But then I went back and read the first book, A Throne of Glass, and it was okay. But yeah, people just hate on her so much. I think it's the popularity.
And all you can talk about is money.
Everything, and also this romanticy thing that a lot of people in the hardcore side of of fantasy books just don't like. But yeah, I get it. I get it. She's not the best. And, I mean, I may never read another book by her, but let's just let go of the hate. A book series that everyone thinks is really powerful, but I just don't connect with. That's going to be Malazan.
And also,
I've read the first 3 books twice, and they just don't. That's a good way of putting it. They just don't connect with me. I've heard people even say, like, I think it was the 3rd book, that they cried during the 3rd book, and I think I know what part they're talking about, and maybe I'm just a robot, but like I couldn't care less if anybody died, at least through the first 3 books. Krumpa is really, I mean, Animator Rake's okay, but Krumpa is like the main part, and it's weird, like the comic relief shouldn't be the best part of the book, but for me it was. So yeah, it's gonna be Malazan for me. A character you don't get the hype for, man, that is a hard, because I don't see a lot of people. Maybe Fitz. I wasn't a huge fan, and I was really sad about it, that I'm not a huge fan of The Assassin's Apprentice. Like, and Robin Hobb. That was the first Robin Hobb book I read. And like everybody talks about Fitz is the best. Fitz is the greatest. And I just, he's just an okay character. There's a lot of characters like him. And he's just not even in my top 10. I mean,
yeah, I don't know, man.
So let's see. The 7th, a book series everyone wants an adaptation for, but I don't. That's hard, because I pretty much want all of the big series, or any of the series I like, to get an adaptation. I want it, because I came more from a movie watching background than a book watching background up until like 5 years ago, and then I've been going book crazy. And here's what I know is coming, but maybe Red Rising, because I think it could be really cool. But I just have a feeling it's not going to be as powerful as the books. I just have this feeling that it's just not going to live up to the books, and I'm going to be disappointed, because I love Red Rising. And if you love Red Rising, my audiobook narrator for More Than a Vampire and More Than a God War, he is actually the voice of Darrow in the graphic audiobooks. So check him out. And the 8th and final one, a book series you think people have bias towards, they don't really love or hate as much as they claim. Could also throw Malazan into that, but I'm gonna do The Will of Time.
Allow me to put on my skepticals. Whoop!
I am convinced, just by all the people that I have watched videos about The Will of Time, I am very much convinced that it is one of those gigantic book series that you read to say that you've read. I don't think people love it as much as they say. I don't think people hate it quite as much as they say. I think it's just like, it's one of those like accomplishments. I read this long book series, so I'm feel good about myself, which very well could be the case. I mean, you probably would feel good if you read a whole series that's that long. But yeah, I just think there's people who are super hardcore into it, and there's super hardcore haters, but I just think it's a cultural thing within BookTube to read The Will of Time, or at least it was when I first started. But that is the tag, guys. Let me know which of my unpopular opinions is wrong. I am fully ready for you guys to roast me inside the comments. Let me know your unpopular opinions in here. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that. I have some big interviews, big discussions coming up, so you should stay tuned to see those. But remember, be more than human.